What you call the world is never separate from the way it is revealed to your awareness in each passing moment. You do not encounter objects in isolation, but within a field of meaning that your consciousness continuously shapes. Every experience is both discovery and creation, unfolding between what appears and how you receive it. The visible is only a surface. Beneath it lies the silent structure of how it is experienced. Truly see something is to notice not just its form, but the way it arrives in your perception. Consciousness does not store reality. It lives it, moment by moment, a constant flow of appearance. The world is not given all at once, but in fragments that your awareness gathers into coherence. What seems obvious is often the least examined, yet it holds the deepest layers of experience. You cannot step outside your perception to verify reality. You can only deepen your understanding of how it appears. Every act of attention reshapes the world you think you are merely observing. The meaning of a thing is never fixed. It shifts with every new way of seeing. Presence is not simply being somewhere, but being aware of how that place reveals itself to you. Experience is not something you have. It is something you are always within. The unnoticed forms the background that allows the noticed to stand out. You are always interpreting, even when you believe you are simply seeing. The depth of a moment depends on how fully it is attended to. To question experience is to open a space where new meanings can emerge. What appears simple often conceals layers of complexity within your perception. You do not encounter the world directly, but through the structures that make experience possible. Awareness is not a container of thoughts, but an active field in which they arise and dissolve. The familiar becomes strange when you pause long enough to truly observe it. Every perception carries a horizon of possibilities beyond what is immediately present. You are not separate from your perspective. You are always situated within it. The act of noticing transforms the ordinary into something worthy of reflection. Experience is never complete. It is always in the process of becoming. What you ignore shapes your reality just as much as what you focus on. Understanding begins when you recognize that perception is not neutral. The world is always more than what is currently visible to you. Each moment offers more than you usually take from it. To see clearly is to become aware of the filters through which you see. The richness of experience lies in its subtlety, not its intensity. You are both the observer and the condition that makes observation possible. The meaning of presence changes as your awareness deepens. You cannot hold an experience still. It exists only in its unfolding. The boundaries of objects are less fixed than they appear within your perception. What feels immediate is often shaped by layers of past experience. Every perception is influenced by what you expect to find. Clarity arises not from adding more, but from seeing what is already there. The act of reflection reveals what was hidden in plain sight. You do not merely receive the world. You participate in its appearance. The unseen is not absent. It remains just beyond your current focus. Each experience contains more meaning than is immediately understood. You cannot separate the act of seeing from what is seen. The depth of awareness grows when you question what feels certain. What you call reality is always filtered through the way it is given to you. To be present is to witness how each moment reveals itself without resistance. Experience is not static. It flows, shifts, and reshapes itself continuously. The more you observe your perception, the more you uncover its hidden structures. Nothing appears without context, and context is always part of your awareness. You are always already involved in the world you think you are observing. What appears before you is never the whole, but only what your awareness is ready to receive. But you do not stand before the world as an observer alone, but as a participant in its unfolding meaning. Every perception is an event, not a thing happening between you and what is given. The world is not something you find, it is something that continually reveals itself through you. What you call clarity is often only familiarity that has gone unquestioned. But you cannot separate what is seen from the way it is seen. And each moment carries an excess of meaning that escapes immediate understanding. The visible rests upon an invisible structure of awareness that makes it possible. To perceive is to be involved in a process that is never fully complete. You do not encounter reality as it is, but as it becomes within your experience. And what feels solid is often only stabilized by repetition in perception. That every act of attention draws a boundary around what is noticed and what is left behind. The world is always arriving, never fully present, always becoming within your awareness. You cannot hold experience still long enough to define it without losing its essence. What you fail to notice is not absent, but waiting beyond the limits of your focus. Each perception contains more than it reveals, and less than it suggests. The act of seeing is shaped by what you expect to see. You are never outside your perspective, only capable of becoming aware of it. What is given to you is always filtered through conditions you rarely question. The depth of reality is not hidden far away, but within the way it appears. Every moment is layered with meanings that unfold only through attention. The familiar conceals its mystery by appearing obvious. You do not move through the world. The world moves through your experience. Each appearance is a fragment pointing beyond itself. What you perceive is always tied to how you are oriented toward it. The horizon of experience is never fixed. It shifts as you become aware of it. To understand is not to capture meaning, but to remain open to its unfolding. You cannot fully step back from experience because you are always already within it. What appears simple is often structured by complexity you have not yet seen. Each act of awareness transforms what it attends to. The world is not presented as a finished object, but as an ongoing revelation. What you call now is already shaped by what came before and what you anticipate. You are both the condition and the witness of what appears. But every perception is guided by an unseen background that gives it sense. The more you examine experience, the less fixed it becomes. What you think you know is often only what you have become used to seeing. The act of noticing is what allows the world to emerge in detail. You cannot isolate a moment from the flow that gives it meaning. Each experience is both limited and open at the same time. What is present always carries traces of what is absent. You do not discover meaning, you meet it as it arises. Every perception invites further perception beyond itself. The more you become aware, the more you realize how much remains unnoticed. And what appears constant is often maintained by habit in awareness. Now, the world is not static. It breathes through your experience of it. You cannot fully define what is always in motion. But each moment is deeper than your first understanding of it. The structure of experience reveals itself only to those who question it. What you perceive is inseparable from how you are present. Understanding is not possession, but participation in meaning.